Hi, welcome to another video on my Raspberry Pi 2 with the robot operating system and some electronics using or controlled by Python. Last time I did some improvements, and among which is adding reading back to from the motors. So the signal that is going to the motor is being checked by a lead back to the interface, and that is being dealt with this one. Pin 12 is being read, and it's reading the signal that comes from the GPIO. All sounds well, all seems well, except that it is not. One thing is that if I press this switch, you see that the LED is burning, and I release it, it's off. The problem, however, is that the signal leads or seems to lead a life of its own. Same goes with this wire. This wire is coming from the interface and is supposed to go high when I touch the switch. However, what happens is that, and I will show you right here, what I noticed, to my big surprise, is that although I check here for the input being 1 or high, then you print 1, and this turns out to be 0. So the output on screen was 1, 0, 0. And that cannot even be. Even for 1 instance of a second, that cannot be, because you select on 1. So what I'm going to do is run it and see if it happens again. So I press, let me show you. Oops, oh, that is not the intention. So I press this switch, and then in the upper terminal window you should see something happening. And yes, that is should see. What I also did, by the way, is adding this resistor, this one. In an attempt to find out why my signal is not being like it should be. Now you see in the upper terminal window that it's all 1, which it should have been for a long time. Releasing, pressing, releasing. Okay, for now it looks like there's a delay. A big delay in what? Processing it. Let's stop it and look back into the data. And data is going by fast, so I may need to go here. It is a change from 0 to 1, but there's no 100 or 011 yet. Here we have one. So or is this just a fidget of my imagination? Well, last time it certainly, most certainly, was no fidget of my imagination. That I can tell you. Anyway, since that is virtually impossible to have an 1 for input and here zeros, and here a 0 for input and here ones, I want to test it again, but yeah, what to do about it, I don't know yet. By the way, if you haven't watched my other videos and wonder what is a black edge is, I'm using a different laptop with a full HD screen, and unfortunately VNC server is not giving me the same resolution, so I have to deal with this like this way. On the other hand, I get the full screen, and that's something as well. No, the other one. Anyway, what I want to do, apart from starting the publisher again, is finding out why this motor is still not willing to run. And if I look here, and there's too many ones, no, too many zeros while I press the switch. And whenever there is a 0 here, there's a 0 here, and the motor won't run. Can I do this in a different way? Yes, I can. I can disable the switch, override it, and then make sure that it only gets a 1. So what I am going to do is saying this. Oh, let me disable this for now, or stop it. I am going to make sure that this is only giving a 1. So I say comment this out. Then I make sure from here that I will be 1. So I override the switch, make sure that this data is inserted will always be 1 for now. See what that happens. See what effect that has. Alright. It's 1. Yet, given the surprise here, 0. How can that be? Alright. let me restart this one as well. I should be only getting 1 here. Getting 1 here should be causing a running motor, but as you can see, there isn't any running going on. So let's go to the subscriber. If data is 1, yeah, it is 1, forced. It's a forced 1. So then GPIO is true, the output is true. And I'm reading this back from 12. How do I read it in? Status. GPIO 7 is status. So here I should be reading a GPIO status. Yeah, here GPIO 7 is 1 anymore. Again 1. Apart from many hello worlds, there's a 1. So this is the condition we're meeting right here. And a sleep of 1 is this too short? So an output that is true for 1 second. I think I will do this for 3 seconds. Then I'll do this for 3 seconds as well, because this means actually that the motor output is being sent, or the motor is being activated for 3 seconds now. So let's see what happens. And another reminder is that the 3 seconds also caused the hello world to be multiplied. How is this going to be done? Let's go further. This is here. I'm only interested in data. What I may do is actually disable the whole of this string, because I'm only interested in some data. That may be the problem. So that is what I should do. So what needs to be done is, in the publisher, disable this publisher because it's sending the string. And then anything that has to do with publisher, this hello string can go out, although it doesn't really matter. This one should go out anyway. The hello string, alright, let's do that. The hello string goes out, this one goes out. Then this has everything to do with publisher 2, which is the data. So that in itself is alright. Have I disabled everything that goes to publisher? Yes. Alright. That also means that it is not being sent anymore. And it is not being received anymore. So let's see what result that has. Alright. Big difference. And now I only get what I want, being this stuff. Only this. Callback, only callback 2. And I can see it is perfectly what I want. It is all 1. Problem is not doing anything. That said, if I put it to true, and that I just realize, what speed will it have? What speed does it have anyway? That's a very good one. Will it even run? And what speed? So if I don't set a speed, there's probably nothing it will do. That's a good one. For now, I do know that, let's go back to the view, this is not going to help much. The LEDs here are not doing anything. While when they are surpassed or passed over, they certainly do. So is that the reason that it won't work yet? That may just be possible. And now I see that this is not running or not doing anything. So I connect it to the power. But then again, it doesn't do anything yet. And let's see how it should be connected. Yes, one wire to the transistor circuit and one wire to the power. So basically this should work. But it clearly isn't. So my thought about getting it to work is a nice one. And in maybe comes pulse width modulation anyway. And that is a very good question. How to imply that here. Now with the thought of pulse width modulation, which I haven't applied yet, comes frequency. So when you have some frequency, you can measure it. So let's put that to the test. And let's see if that can be made visible anyhow. I'm afraid it can't, just outside the reach of the camera like this. Anyway, when I measure just here with the transistor, it measures 1 kilohertz. When I measure here at the diode, it measures nothing yet. Measuring here, it measures about 5 kilohertz. And it has been proven in some of my other videos that it perfectly runs on this kind of frequencies. So that should not be a problem. Even with 5 volts as it is now, because if I change the multimeter to the setting of 20 volt, maximum 20 volts, and I measure, alright, then I need to measure the mass as well, of course. And I measure here, it said it 3 volts. That may be a bit low. So what is this? 5 volts. But this is definitely 3.3 volts. And this is the output of a permanent high output now, because I have hard coded it to high, which apparently is not 5 volts but 3.3. And that gives food for thought. If I need a motor to run for 5 volts, it may be an oops to get it to run at 3.3. And I am certainly not quite sure how to solve this. That said, when measuring here the output, it's 4 volts. When I measure here, it is also not 5 volts completely. That is odd, because it should be 5 volts. But you need the potential difference to actually do something. 3.3, 4.6. So if I do something different and I put this wire from the plus to the minus, what will happen then? Right now nothing. So I will measure from the minus. Here's the minus, and then I need to measure here, and I need to measure here, but it gives absolutely nothing. So that's a bit odd. I need a potential difference. Okay, that means that I will have to check all voltages to be sure that the motor even gets enough power to be able to run. Because according to other circuits that I have, one is in the plus and one is connected to the transistor, but without enough power it won't run anyway. Oops. So I've checked on the voltages of the Raspberry Pi. While the GPIO is capable of delivering 5 volts, and those 5 volts go indeed to the power line, and 0 volts ground of course to the minus line. Low is 0 volts, but high is limited to 3.3 volts. And I doubt that that is enough for this motor. So what I will do is unfortunately remove this motor for now, because as you will understand, 5 volts has been enough to drive it like this. Just putting it here, that is going to work, but putting this to work, and let me just say this is 5 volts or 3.3 volts, because it is coming from an eternal high output. Let me do it properly. This is not going to work, and that is a problem, considering the fact that pin 7 is clearly measuring the input, which is high, so 3.3 volts is not going to be enough for this motor to run. What I can do is doing something with this LED, and if I remove this transistor once again and I connect it with a transistor, I should be able to. What does it do then? Nothing either. There has to be a solution though. If I put it just like this, put this wire in here, now if it just wants to cooperate, I'm happy. But I'm afraid I'm still seeing absolutely nothing. No, not even with the light dimmed. I know from experience that it did work. I need to figure that out. And well, if not with motor because the voltage is too low, then I might be able to do the ROS activation for LEDs. Unfortunately, but a motor would have been nice, but it turns out to be so far not possible, not unless I have an op amp with which amplifies the power or the voltage. And I will leave it for now at this. Not a nice conclusion, but truth can be tough. Thank you for watching. Conclusion, I still haven't solved the reason why screen output is not according to the switch. So I overruled the switch. Then now screen output is absolutely everywhere the same, which is a plus, which also means that there is something wrong in the circuit. Motor is not functioning, LEDs will be, should be, and for that it will be continued. If you like my video and haven't subscribed yet, please do so to my channel. If you don't want to subscribe to my channel, you can also follow me on Twitter and follow me on Instagram with nice pictures. If you would like to make a donation to keep my blog going, see my website, which is listed at the start of the video and under this video, with a lot more information on other projects. And as said, this is to be continued. Bye bye.